What's up, everybody? Some Gamer Chick here, and if you haven't been paying attention to Gorl World, it's gotten fucking insane. It really fucking has. Now, I get it. A lot of people don't like Emily. I do get it. But if you haven't really been paying attention, Rachel Reacts dropped two videos with screenshots of text messages between Amber and Emily that Emily gave to Rachel. Emily gave to Emily? Yeah, totally. But Rachel recently privated the most recent one, and she made this post. Hi all, Emily has withdrawn consent for her voice to be used on my channel. To avoid any future issues or privacy concerns, I have privated my previous videos. Many thanks for the continued support of my channel. And the comments reflect how a lot of the reactors have been kind of talking about Emily. One says, God, they're both detestable. Stupid move by Emily. Confirms all this current drama is definitely her. This is probably a good indicator that you should stop interacting with Emily. While I do believe her more than Amber, Emily is still playing these games with her, and you seem to be above them both. Sorry for the silliness. Your video was well made and had some integrity, unlike that toxic couple. Looks like Emily flip-flopped and is back to talking to Amber. They are both a waste of time and energy. So glad I watched your videos a million times already. The toothpaste can't go back in the bottle, Emily. It's already done. They both need mental help. Not trying to be shitty, just truthful. Emily's the one who's been privacy striking channels the whole time, huh? Now Emily is going to use this as a way to strike other reaction channels for having Rachel's video in it. So we all agree that Justin Feeder and Pookie Lynn are back together. Wants her story told, then gets upset about her story being told. They belong together. Now, do I think that Emily has a weird and potentially dangerous kink? Yeah. But so do people who are into BDSM. And don't try to compare BDSM is based on consent and safety and all of that stuff. I'm sorry, but knife play, breath play, all of that kind of stuff can get out of hand quick. Now, on the feederism thing, I don't think it's just about feeding them until they're 900 pounds and overstuffed and about to pop. I don't think it's just about that. I think there are more tame and safe ways to practice feederism. And if Emily finds herself getting into the more dangerous ways, I do think that, therapy could help her avoid that kind of stuff. But I am an author, if you haven't figured it out. And I'll be honest, I essentially write romance, and there is smut in there, and I'm going to read you a scene from the third book in my Sacred Beast series. When the dessert made its grand entrance, Kieran's laughter rang out, a sound that grated against Altina's composure, turning her cheeks a deep crimson that she felt was visible beneath her carefully applied makeup. The heart-shaped chocolate-covered strawberry cheesecake dazzled on the plate. English, I swear I know it. Garnished with elegantly arranged chocolate-covered strawberries that looked almost too beautiful to eat. Two delicate dessert forks lay poised on the plate, adding a playful touch to the indulgent finale of their meal. You're the one who decided on a rose dinner with a Valentine's Day theme, he playfully teased, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. Altina looked up from the plate, confusion etched on her features. What? With a raised eyebrow and a lightly mocking tone, he leaned back in his chair. It's Valentine's Day in the other world, the most romantic day of their year. I hear it's a tradition for girls to give chocolates to the guys they have a crush on. He reached out casually, taking one of the elegant forks from the plate, twirling it between his fingers with a smirk. Altina felt her heart race in a mix of embarrassment and annoyance as she watched him. He was teasing her again, and this time he was being particularly playful. He took a piece of the rich cheesecake on the end of his fork and held it out to her, his amber eyes sparkling with mischief and something darker. For a moment she felt frozen in place, caught in the playful challenge and the dark temptation his gaze presented. Ignoring his offered bite, she swiftly grabbed her own fork. Determined to maintain her composure, she cut into the cheesecake opposite where Karen had the creamy texture gliding seamlessly beneath the tines as she took a hearty bite, turning her face away in an effort to hide the faint blush creeping up her cheeks. The sweet flavor burst in her mouth, but she refused to let him see how much she enjoyed it. Karen laughed, taking the declined bite of cheesecake himself. We're even now. It was silky smooth in texture, and the creamy flavor of cheese paired well with the sweetness of the strawberries and the slight bitterness of the chocolate. Kage would love this, he thought to himself. What do you mean? Altina asked, pulling him from his idle thoughts of stopping somewhere on his way home to find something similar for Kage. You offered me a bite that angered me in Simbasa. I have returned the favor. It was fascinating watching her lightly tanned skin flush with anger and embarrassment. He could even admit to himself that she looked beautiful when her lapis lazuli eyes glittered with her anger like perfectly cut gemstones. And not just from anger. The sadness he had noticed earlier and the glint of pleasure from her enjoyment of the meal had been just as beautiful and enjoyable for him to watch from the corner of his eye, had made his hands itch for a sketchbook to capture the moment. Offering me a bite of cheesecake is not the same, she countered. Are you sure? He asked. Altina's brow furrowed as she frowned in thought. Blood calms you, heals you, changes you. She added the last in a low whisper, more breathing out of the words as his eyes caught hers. Two lovers sharing a cheesecake can be just as intimate as two Dompiers bloodletting. They were in a darker corner of the main area and had been set up for the rose dinner, and it was amusing to watch her freeze like a deer caught in headlights as he moved his chair closer to her, sitting so their thighs touched. Hot electricity ran through his leg, and he resisted the urge to press more firmly against her. With an arm placed on the back of her chair, he offered her another bite of cheesecake with the same fork he had used. His eyes never left hers, and he wondered if her heart was beating as fast as his. Her mouth was partially open, and her eyes closed as her lips closed around the fork, taking the bite. It was as if she was in a trance. The strawberry shortcake perfume that was just hers was intoxicating as he leaned forward and pressed his lips to hers. The spark he felt from the action made the feel of her thigh against his seem like a mild tingle compared to the lightning jolt of skin-to-skin contact with her. When she didn't immediately push him away, he deepened the kiss, slowly, tenderly. Wrapping the shadows around them, he breathed his magic across her skin, thankful there was no discomfort from embracing his shadow spark. That apparently angered my cats, but you could consider that a form of feederism. He used the cheesecake to initiate steamy makeout section, which he then gets slapped for. But I hope you get where I'm getting with that. So sitting here and basically saying that Emily is a terrible person because she is into essentially sex with food, I think is bad. I think it is wrong, especially since my personal belief and in my opinion, I do believe that Emily came out with these text messages and came to reaction channels because she was trying to defend herself against all of the toxicity that people were sending her way. There were text messages in the second video that did show she was supportive of Amber trying to lose weight. Yes, Amber losing weight makes her less of Emily's type, but there are tons of men out there that love thick girls. I myself am more on the overweight side. I could definitely use with losing a few pounds. But a lot of guys like my squish. I'm not anywhere near Amber's size. I'm not even at 200 pounds. But a lot of guys like the squish. A lot of people like the squish. Not everybody wants a toothpick. Some people want some meat and cushion for the pushing, damn it. But I'm getting distracted. All of this to say that I don't think Emily is as bad of a person as people think. And I don't think her wanting all of this to go away is indicative of them being back together or talking to each other. I think every time that they've continued to talk to each other after the big breakup, it has been Amber trying to do this. We all know Amber uses sock accounts. What's to stop her from using sock accounts to pester Emily until she unblocks her or any of that? Emily even said that Amber was the one sending unsolicited sexy pics to her. And that can definitely be Amber trying to get Emily's attention. We all know that Emily's ex-girlfriend, Megan, held Emily at gunpoint. And there's a police report that goes with it. Emily's own security cameras corroborated her side of the story. So we know she's been in an abusive relationship before. And we know that Amber can be abusive. We've seen everything that Beck and Destiny have come out with. We've heard Casey talk about his story. So, I mean, that's 3 people right there that were abused by Amber. Do I believe Amber abused Emily? Yes. Do I think Emily is just as toxic as Amber and that they deserve each other? No. No, I don't. I do not think that Emily is as toxic as Amber. I think the reason why she originally did this was to essentially clear her name. Because she was already deemed a terrible person in the court of public opinion. Which, once you're deemed a terrible person in the court of public opinion, there's no coming back from that. Is it possible that Emily's work is being contacted by people and showing them everything and all of this? Yeah, it's fucking possible. Do I think it's people from both the Am Babies and the Reaction audience? Yeah, I do think that. And if you're one of those people that went and reported Emily and you're sitting here going, I could never feel safe with a nurse like Emily and all of that stuff, you guys are terrible people. I'm sorry, but you are. You're giving the same energy as someone telling Emily, well, you deserve what Megan did. You know, what Amber said to Emily. You're giving that same fucking energy. And it's fucking ridiculous. Y'all should all feel ashamed of yourselves. Because those text messages that Emily shared, they don't paint her in a terrible light. But you guys continually go, she's a terrible person. We're not trying to defend her. But that is exactly what Emily was trying to do. She was trying to tell her story and defend herself from a community of toxic assholes. And yeah, I admit, I pay attention to Gorl World. It's fucking fascinating. But at times like this, it's ridiculous. And I get where Emily's coming from when she comes out and has to try to defend herself. I'm a conservative. I voted for Trump. And I know everybody who just heard that, 90% of you in Gorl World are probably going, oh, she's a racist. She's a homophobe. She's a fascist. She's a Nazi. I'm none of those things. I don't even actually think Amber is any of those things, and y'all keep fucking saying that about her. But you also got to remember, she's a goddamn fucking narcissist. A narcissist will say racist or homophobic or transphobic or fascist bullshit or sexist shit to feel superior to other people. It's not just about being sexist or homophobic or whatever. It's also about being just a narcissist, because she doesn't actually give a shit. You kind of actually have to give a shit about something other than yourself to be a racist or sexist or whatever. But that's just my thoughts. Leave your own in the comments below. But I do think that this entire Emily situation is fucking insane. And y'all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. But that is just my take. Like, comment, subscribe if you like my take. I didn't want this to be my first video in months, but I felt that it needed to be said. And if you want to check out my books, I'll definitely leave a link in the description. I am doing free promos on Kindle right now. The Black Butterfly and Don Pearson's just got done with, so right now I'm it's going to the second, third, and fourth books in the Sacred Beast series that are going to be on sale for free for everyone on Kindle for 5 days each, starting now. But I will leave a link for that in the description, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't hurt yourselves. Just smile at a stranger. Y'all toxic people need to start sending some smiles at just random people. You know what? If you see someone in the street with a MAGA hat and your first reaction is to call them names or whatever, I want you to try this. Go up to them, say hello, and be nice to them. Be kind to them, because you can't change people's hearts by punching them in the face, but you can change their hearts by actually talking to them. And you know what? You might learn something. But that is all from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Enter the world, but tread with care. Those roots remember every prayer. Carved from ash, from bone, from flame. The sacred beasts don't play or game. Here change comes, swift on silver wing, with dragonflies that bite and sting. Truth flickers soft and sharp as steel, and every wound must learn to heal. Don't come armed with hollow lore. This world won't let you fake the war. For those who think they understand, you'll bleed the fastest by your hand. So read and ache, be torn apart. These stories rise from broken hearts. With grit and teeth they scream and soar. You've never known a world like this before.